So, good day everyone. I am Geraldine Ayobjana. This is Saksay 1E and at this moment, I'm going to report about minutes of a meeting and memorandum. But first, we need to discuss communication for work purposes. For minutes and memorandum is part of this topic. I hope that you will learn from it. So, communication for work purposes. So, what do we mean by communication for work purposes? So, simply, it is the communication which is used for work or within a workplace. So the question is, so what communication do we have in a workplace? Or how do one communicate within the work? Or what do they use when sending information or ideas? So, communication for work purposes. Place communication. So, workplace communication, by the word workplace, so it is the place where work is done. So, then communication. Communication is the exchanging of ideas or thoughts. So, simply, workplace communication is the exchanging of ideas or thoughts in the place where work is done. So, it's either a verbal or which delivered directly by sender to his receivers the information he wanted to impart. Then also it can be nonverbal, which ideas or thoughts are expressed through writing and other means of communication. So all jobs call for writing. So as we observe, all job needs a writing process. So a construction worker, even by its simple work but hard, they also write their biodata. They fill up on their biodata, so they apply a writing process. So most professionals wrote their application letters and resumes when entering or applying a job. Through writing, communication is possible among or between employees, managers, stakeholders, clients, and agencies. So example of it is through the minutes, memo, letters, and so many more in where they can communicate through that written outputs. So, and by that, they can get the message or the writer wants to impart to his listener. So the writer can get their feedbacks or responses. So, it is an example where communication takes place in an organization or a workplace. So, it is important that purpose and audience is considered to make sure that the tone to adapt is appropriate for the context and kind of writing expected from you. So, in writing, there are important things to be considered by the writer. So, number one is as stated there, the purpose. Then, the next is the audience. Then, the tone. So, these three are being considered to have a good results. So, number one, the first thing that one should consider is the purpose. So, what is your purpose on writing your application letter or resumes? So, maybe your purpose is to be accepted from a job you're applying, right? So, your purpose may be to create or build record, to request or to provide information, and lastly, to persuade. So, when writing your purpose, there are questions to ask yourself. So, what am I going to say? So, think of the message you want to impart to the reader to achieve your purpose, to show your purpose. So, adapt the 5 W's, which are the who, what, where, when, and why. Audience or the reader. So, who am I writing to? So, it's either an individual or a group of persons. So, what do they know about this topic? So, what are their job titles and areas of responsibility? So, number 3 is tone. So, tone, it is your expressed attitudes towards the person or thing when writing or not. So, whether you agree or disagree, like or dislike, bias or accept. It is how you regard or consider the person. So, tone may be professional or formal, and impersonal or informal, and personal. So, tone of writing is most important in occupational writing because a wrong tone in your letter may cost you a customer. So, it's true, right? So, for a wrong tone expressed is a great loss. It's a great loss sometimes. So, especially when you are applying for a job or if you are writing some controversial issues and that excuse me. So, and that most are against with. So, instead that you will get the sympathy of all, you will be the reason that they are being mad of. So, be careful in expressing the tone for it can cause misunderstanding and problems. So, it can also create a conflict that leads to chaos. So, tone is best achieved by doing the following. So first, focusing on the reader. So, sino nga ba ang reader mo or the audience? So, the writer should focus on the reader, his needs, his wants, his expectations. So, next is choosing positive and pleasant ideas. So, dapat po ay wag po tayong magbigay ng negativity. Dapat po positive lang. Dahil minsan, ang ating tone, minsan kasi ang ating tone, imbis na positive yung dating sa ating sarili, but sometimes, pag iba na po yung nagbabasa, iba na po yung kinalalabasan. Something na nagiging negative na po siya. So, kailangan be careful. So, focusing on what to be done to solve the problem and not on what not to be done. So sa ganito po, sa pangatlo pong ito, ay parang dapat po positive lang po siya. Kasi kung what not to be done, parang sa negative po siya kasi. So, dapat is what to be done. So, ano ba ang kailangang gawin para ma-solve ang ganyang problema? So, hindi sa ano dapat ang hindi kailangang gawin para ma-solve ang problema. So, choosing positive and pleasant ideas. So, next is using the positive form of the verb to soften the impact of unpleasant or negative or controversial news. So, next is, let's go to my main topics, which is about different communication materials in the workplace. So, number 1, minutes of the meeting. So, excuse me. So, minutes of a meeting, it is an official written statement which tells about the proceedings of the meeting has been taken. A brief but complete record of all discussions, motions, resolutions taken place in a meeting that approved by the participating member. So, minutes are official records of the proceedings of the meeting according to Rajendra Pal and Korhalari. So, nasabi ko na po ito kanina. So, minutes of the meeting can be divided to 2 groups. Number 1 is minutes of narration. So, minutes of narration is a concise summary of all discussions which took place, reports received, actions to be taken, and decisions made. It includes names of the participating members, name of the proposer and supporter, then discussion summary, and then the conclusions. So number 2 is minutes of resolution. So minutes of resolution means the written statement of the decisions that have been taken and approved by the participating members of the meeting. So only the main conclusions which are reached at the meeting are recorded in minutes of resolution. So kanina po is minutes of narration. So ang minutes of narration is only the summary of all discussions. While minutes of resolutions is all about the decisions taken place and approved by the participating members only. So ayun po siya. So, minutes basic parts. So day, time, and place of the meeting. Then, name of the group holding the meeting. Then, name of presiding officer or chair. So, mostly po na nagpo-preside during the meeting is the secretary. But sometimes, there are also the president. It only depends on the organization. Kasi minsan po, pag formal ang meeting, sometimes secretary po yung nagsa-start ng meeting, but then sometimes din po yung president or yung, for example, in the barangay, yun po yung, sometimes po yung secretary nagsa-start ng meeting, but then sometimes din po is the barangay captain. So, next is names of present and absent members. So, it is the attendance. So, approval or amendment of minutes of the previous meeting. Then, for each major point, what was done is indicated. So, what was discussed, suggested, or proposed, what was decided in the votes, including abstentions, what was continued or tabled for further study or for another meeting. Then, what time the meeting was officially closed. So, then, don't forget the secretary's signature. So, guidelines on writing a minutes. So, all motions and resolutions are recorded and proponents are identified by name. So, seconded motions are also noted and recorded, although the ones who seconded them need not be identified. Then, results of seconded motions must be recorded, and whether approved or rejected should be indicated in the minutes. So, headings are used to mark report sections. Titles should be all in capital letters. Then, 5 is minutes of the previous meeting should also be taken up. Do not report verbatim or word for word what are being said. Summarize. Readers are more interested in the results. Then, number 7, lengthy discussions, debates, and reports given should be summarized. Then, the past tense is used. So, balik po muna tayo dito. So, ang guidelines po sa minutes natin is, huwag po natin kakalimutan yung date niya, time and place kung saan po ginanap yung meeting. Then, meron po siya mga attendance. Then, mostly po na minutes meeting is more on summarization. So, no need to write word for word. So, only summarize the result or discussions taken place in the meeting. So, past tense is used dahil tapos na po siya. So, is a minute unimportant? So, meeting minutes can be used to provide clarification and serve as historical document of what the meeting took about. What and who are the participants agreed and disagreed of what being tackled in the meeting. So, is a minute unimportant? Yes, for it serves as a historical document in which its content is the summarization of all events. So, all events, agendas, and topics discussed during the meeting. So, in case po na makalimutan yung kung ano po ba ang nangyari sa loob ng nagdaang meeting, yung meeting minutes po, siya po yung nagpapaalala kung ano po talaga yung pinag-usapan, yung pinag-agreehan ng lahat, or yung pinagbutuhan ng lahat. So, lahat po ng events na nangyari sa meeting ay doon po nakalakip sa minutes. So, importante po yung minutes, lalo na po sa mga organizations or sa government government organization, something like that, or in company, for it serves as historical document. So, in case po na hindi po nalala ng lahat kung ano nangyari, so there's a historical document which proves or magpapakita po kung ano po talaga yung nangyari, kung ano po talaga yung naging resulta ng nagdaang meeting na kanilang pinag-usapan. So, this is an example of a minutes of the meeting. So, meron po siyang title, which is the Environmental Safety Committee. Then, meron po siyang date, then type of meeting, so monthly meeting. So, informal po siya. Then, there's a time, place. Then, the presiding officer is Miss Grace Cortez. So, the attendance, so members present and the members absent. The minutes of the meeting. So all business, the minutes from the meeting in December were approved as read. So reports, the proposal to study the use of biometrics. So ayun po siya. So new business, then new meeting. So meron po siyang schedule of the next new meeting. So, search this link below to have better understanding about the minutes of a meeting. So, let's go to the next page. So, another topic is all about memorandum. So, what do we mean by memorandum? So, memorandum came from the Latin word memorare, which means something to be remembered. So, its function is to record information of immediate importance and interest. So, it is usually short, direct to the point, clearly stating what must be done or not be done. So, what is the purpose of memorandum? So, the purpose include making announcements, giving instructions, clarifying a policy, procedure, or issue. Number 4, changing a policy or procedure. Number 5, alerting staff to a problem. Number 6, sending recommendations, providing legal records, calling a meeting, and reminding employees of corporate history, policy, and procedure. So, memo protocol. A memo should follow the company's accepted ways in which in-house communication is formatted, organized, written, and written. So, what is the format of a memo? So, the memo has a header, which includes in the header recipient, writer, additional recipients, date, and the subject line. So, also, it has a message or the body. So, the body include orientation or the purpose or reason why writing a memo. Then, information. So, what to convey. Number 3 is the action. So, what action should be taken place. So, for further knowledge, please see this link below. So, let's go to examples. So, here is an example of a memorandum. So, the header is to all employees from Susana Cordero, Manager, Personnel Department. Date, January 12, 2018. Then, the subject, Januario Garcia. So, that is the header. So, the rest is the memorandum's body. So here is an example also. So the header is to all employees of the accounting department from Mr. XYT, head of accounts. The CC is another recipient. So additional recipient. So additional recipient is Miss ABC of HR department. Then also, there's a date, October 25, 2018. Then the subject, the compulsory training to the new software. So the body or the message is, as you all aware, we have recently adopted new accounting software at the company. The decision was taken to improve our accounting procedure and make it more time and cost efficient. A training seminar will be held on 5th November 2018 at 9 a.m. to familiarize the staff with the new software. This is done to make the transition between the software as easy as possible. So all employees of the department are required to attend. So that is an example of a memorandum. So that's all. Here is my references of my report. So the sources. So thank you for listening and watching. I hope you have learned from my report. So that's all. Thank you.